Hello everyone, how's it going in the YouTubeverse? It is I, your friendly Deftone Wolf Yusufier. How's it going everyone? I know I probably said it already, but anyways, this is kind of going to be a little bit of a ranty kind of video. I was watching about what's been happening, starting with the George Floyd incident all the way down to the latest, which is ridiculous in my point. Now, of course, I must do the obligatory disclaimer. I'm just going to say this. I am going to sound I'm going to basically border on virtue signaling. Like, yes, racism is bad. Any logical person will say racism is bad. Come on, people, say it with me. Racism is bad. Now, with that out of the way, the issue with the George Floyd case is the fact that you cannot prove that racism had a handle in it. It's not like, the arresting officer knows someone, call them up and say, hey, I hope I catch me a black guy. It's like, come on. It's like, makes my mind want to go. Anyhow, back to what I'm talking about. What happened to George Floyd, hands down, everyone on the left and on the right can agree on that. What happened to George Floyd is bad. Right? Simple enough. What happened to him was not good. Now, I will congratulate you people, all you people that protested peacefully. Bravo. Bravo. And I'm not being sarcastic. I just have a hard time getting like the right pitch and stuff. And because you people that peacefully protest, you're the ones that's going to help bring more awareness to this than anything before. It's going to be more constructive, more poignant, and it's going to help in the long run. Now, the problem comes to when people believe that rioting is one of the ways to get attention. It's not. It's just making a martyr out of someone who is human like the rest of us. Now, before I go to that point, kneeling down to the black community, the whole begging for forgiveness and the whole... What also doesn't help is the whole laying down for the black community. What doesn't help is the whole laying down at the feet of the black community. It does not help the conversation whatsoever. What does happen is that you are submitting yourself to another human being that you should not be putting yourself in a prone position towards. For example, the whole kneeling and begging for forgiveness can be a form of worship. Kneeling is a sign of submission and worship. That's how kneeling is always been used. Now you add this to the black community, the fact that you're kneeling before them, meaning that you hold them up on a pedestal. in some form of way. But I bet you anything, in the long run, this is not going to help anyone. This is going to continue the issue. This problems will still be around, and nothing would have been done. It will just ultimately mean that you're more than willing to be a doormat for a smaller percentage of the human race in this country. It also ultimately tells us that you're always wrong, they're always right, just by the color of your skin. It does not matter. And I know my whole opinion is not mainstream, like, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, but still, it's common sense thinking where I am not going to lie myself down before a group of people I have done nothing to. And just because you claim my ancestor owned slaves, which is actually very possibly not true, because you don't know that. I mean, records can be lost throughout the times, depending where you are. But anyways, I'm going on a wrong tangent here a little bit, but here's the point. Remember, you're making a martyr out of a man that has committed crimes. This guy committed so many crimes in his life, it's ridiculous. And it's unfortunately par for the course. Do you know what I mean by that? Okay, here's the thing. I really hate the fact that people commit crime. I really do. I really wish we all can just live kumbaya with each other and get along, and people who have issues seek help for those issues, and we can strive as a country towards a safer, better future for ourselves. But no, we can't, because there's a group of people with ill intent in our country who are trying to keep us mentally shackled to guilt, to some kind of form of slavery, in a way where it says, oh, because of your white guilt, you are worthless because of that. Or even like say, because you're black, the white man has it against you. Guess what? The white man doesn't really care what you do with your life. They actually, believe it or not, any sane human beings want you to do well in your life. We want you to do well with your life. Everyone would love for you to do well. The only people that don't want you to do well is those that want to control you. If you want examples, look at Kanye West. Look at how they turned on him after he jumped on the Trump train. I mean, come on. And mind you, I personally have never committed these crimes against any party. The whole slavery thing, never been done by me or my ancestors. Same thing with majority people in this country, because some of the people in this country are immigrants from certain European countries, and who knows, some of them may have never done slavery, but that's neither here nor there. Here's the thing too, is I also want you to remember, think about this. George Floyd was not a good guy. He wasn't an angel. He had a rap sheet. He had drugs in his system. I don't know if he had drugs at that point in time, but he's taken drugs a number of times in his life. He has done despicable things in his life. Why does it matter? It shows his character. There's a reason why we hold certain ideals at a certain standard. Holding George Floyd amongst those high levels does not help. It actually hurts the people. Look at Gandhi. Why is he so popular? Why is he so well known in history? It has to be because of the fact that he fought for his country's freedom, but he did it in a non-violent fashion. He had virtue to a point that he literally, his body must have taken a huge beating. People also wonder why, like say for example, Jesus Christ. Why has his name been around? It's because not only was he, well, the Bible says he's the Son of God, but also because he laid down his life for the human race. Because he wants everyone to come to him. He wants to take everyone to heaven with him, but he can't because people will not choose him. His will is always he wants us, but the plan is to get as many of us as he can. Martin Luther King. His dream was that, I will say this, doesn't matter if he's black, white, Asian, whatever. A man can be judged by the character, by his character, and not by the color of his skin. That was Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. Holy cow, that's a mouthful. A lot of people spit on his name when they bow down to bad actors. And I will have to say this. I have friends who buys into everything about, what's going on in the country. They don't want to research it. They believe the first thing that some news sites will say, and a lot of times it's false anyways. Encouragement to you is, do not believe everything you read online. If you read it, research it, look into it, find a different point of view from that thing, from your source that you first saw. Make sure you look at different sources so you get a general idea. Pay attention to the language being used. Is it logos, ethos, or pathos? Logos being logic, ethos being ethic, pathos being emotion. If it's meant to drive an emotional point out of you, then it's not that good of an article. But that's why I want you to be more critical of your thinking. And I'm sorry, I'm going off on a terrible tangent. I just want you to have a eyesight, so to say. God wants you to be aware of these issues, and He wants to help you navigate through these. Now, a lot of people will probably say, well, what does God have to do with this? He has everything to do with it because of the fact that people moved away from Him, not just individually, but as a country. We moved away from God. We turned our back on God. We gave Him the finger, says, we're going to be doing it our way. Don't care. Don't care about what you think or feel. Just like the ancient Israelites done. And God is letting us reap the reward of our decision making. At this point in time, we should all be careful to not get stuck in a quagmire of echo chambers. Yeah, I do agree that, people on either side could be stuck. This battle can take us to points of views or wrong areas. And it's up to us as individuals to guide ourselves through those points. I do believe God has a bigger plan for us, but we need to wake up to it. But that has to do with us as an individual and as a country. Because God's willing to heal our land of this division, of this turmoil, but we need to submit to Him. But He won't force us. He will let us reap what we've sowed. So at the very least, let's treat others with kindness. Let's do what the golden rule says. Treat those as you want to be treated. Think of really good things you want people on how you want people really good actions you want people to do to help. Think of ways you want people to see you and to, let's say, for example, I like it when people are kind to me. I should do my best to be kind back to them, and so on and so forth. Mind you, be safe. I believe peaceful protesting will go a long way than rioting and the whole kneeling nonsense. I know that one of the things I will say too is write to your representatives in the government. Talk to them about your concerns. Write to them or call them. Do what you can to get your voice out there. You have a voice. Without realizing you're tying your own hands up. And be careful of bad actors out there. Be safe and may God be with you. I'm sorry for this long tangent. I just needed to get this out there. I love you guys. You really take care. I hope you enjoy this rant, even though I don't blame you if you don't. I really do not have a good voice to listen to. So, take care and God bless.